Beautiful round of applause. Welcome, Honor. This podium ought not to be a political podium. But two things just struck my mind. Someone spoke about us coming from Abraham. And indeed, that is my focus. I'm only taking advantage of this forum to say so. It's been in my heart. It is my belief that if we decide to divide ourselves, we don't need to be Hausas, Christians, Muslims, north or south. We will certainly find a reason to divide. This is nature. Somalia is one language, one religion, one culture, one people, one history, one tradition, one mode of life. They've been fighting for 40 years. They didn't need to be Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, or Kaje to fight or to separate. They did it. If you will divide, you will always find that reason to divide as human beings. Within the same house of fathers and one father, one mother, 8 kids, they will certainly divide. There will always be something to divide upon. In my village where I come from, my father was a forestry officer. He resigned his forestry work and put one farmhouse in Dubawa, Sabanga, Sirika, near Shargale, or attached to Shargale, and now popularly called as Shargale itself. That one farmhouse, with no school and nothing, with only fresh leaves to eat. Today we have 4 primary schools, 3 primary schools, 2 secondary schools, including one dedicated to women, police station, courts, hospital, and the rest of it. But in that one farmhouse that has become now, and the last count, about 2,000 households, there exists an Igbo man. His popular name is Aich. And I believe the first I is Ike. I don't know what the next G stands for. If you see his passport, place of birth, Shargale. Local government, Dusi. States of origin, Kazina. And his scholarship, Kazina. And he's not more than 40. Because his father was also born there. And they're traders. 16 kilometers to the south of that point, the gentleman now who mimics President Buhari, MC Tagwai, is from a village called Dugul in that same locality. In 16 kilometers to the west, there exists Mazi Okafo in Mashi, who has the same and similar history and who also bears the same personality. 16 kilometers, this one is about 20 kilometers, not 16 really. In Daura, there exist many of them, and they're all Ibos. So, if you find a reason to be Christianity, that's the reason why you don't want to align with someone. There is no Muslim who will be a Muslim today, and God will accept his Islam, except if he believes in the virginity of Virgin Mary and the miraculous birth of Jesus Christ. This whole chapter of the Quran, a whole chapter of the Quran on Virgin Mary. My mother's name is Mary. I've named my daughter Mary. My in-law is Mary. My sister named by my father is Mary. I know, sir, please. It's Mary. My mother's name is Mary. I named my daughter Mary. My sister, my father named her Mary. And my in-law is Mary. This is because we want to get that blessing of Virgin Mary. No one else. And if I have a chance of another daughter, her name will be Mary. So how can you speak to me about religion to divide? Or how can you divide me when I had the honor and opportunity to meet Chief Magogo Okoye, who discussed and taught me Zikism and the Zikis movement and for what it stood. And I followed that trajectory until this moment. Perhaps that explains my being in opposition all my life. In 2004, build up to 2007 election, we in the Buhari movement, then called Project Nigeria, then we went to become the TBO, the Buhari organization, and ended up in APP. In 2004, we were invited to the first, or I don't know what the first, but the Igbo Congress that held in New Jersey. And after the lecture, President Buhari had a lecture, and I was there. We went, 4 of us. And one young man asked President Buhari, will you support an Igbo presidency? It wasn't within the context of the paper. And the man said no. And I almost pissed in my pants because we were building to 2007. And the boy said, but why? He said, here is why. Here is why. He said, when Zik of Africa earned the name of Zik of Africa, Nelson Mandela was going to school. Zik, with the money of West African pilots, sent Kwame Nkrumah to school. Zik was Zik for Africa, Zik for the world, not Zik of Nigeria. And he's an Igbo man. And he went down all the way to Opara and all of them and said how great they were as politicians, including his running mate at the time, Okoye, whom he has chosen by himself because he's an Igbo man. And he showed somebody sitting down at the front row who was Philip Emeagwali, if the name is correct. He produced the fastest processor computer in the world at that time, and he was Igbo man. He named the name of someone who was at the time in ECN, Electricity Corporation of Nigeria, who was an Igbo man, whose during his tenure, there was no one single blink of light. An Igbo man. He had said all of those great things that the Igbo had done to the politics of Nigeria, to the liberation movement, to our own freedom, to our own independence, and what they have continued to do. And he said, furthermore, they are the only tribe that are on every single polling unit in the country today. They're the only ones. So it demonstrates their belief in Nigeria. Because they're all over the place. They're all over the place. And on purpose, without coercion, he named 2 Igbo men to be his vice presidential candidates. The Memozueke and the Oyuboyi. And he's on his way to making the 3rd. When I drove him to the house of Senator Ben in Apple, legislators, to plead with Ken Enamani to be his 3rd running mate for the 3rd consecutive time, because he believes that these people have the capacity to do so. And he went on and on naming people by name and what they had done for the country, which I have forgotten. But we have the records. And he said, but instead of this huge population of believers of Nigeria who are in every single polling unit, to understand what Oyi had said and what Zik himself has said, to extend their hands across the Niger to the Yorubas or across Benue to the houses where the population is, and make huge political alliance and negotiate and take over power. They had resigned themselves in asking for another country, Biafra. He said, if today the Igbo people will ask for Nigeria, I, Muhammadu Buhari, will be the first person to cast my vote for them because I had done it 3 times, twice with Oyi, once with Oyi, and second with Emezoke, and I was on my way to making it the 3rd time with Ken Enamani. But if they ask for Biafra, then I will insist on Nigeria. And that will be the dividing line. So I want to use this opportunity because I've seen people who have been somebody before I became anybody. And I've seen my colleagues seated right here. That the minute we begin to do the right thing, the minute these people, these strong people with capacity, they have the money, they have the intellect. My predecessor there, I read it all the time. A super intellectual. They have the intellect, they have the money, they have the numbers. If they will ask for Nigeria, they certainly will get for Nigeria. If they will ask for Biafra, they will be in Biafra. And lastly, just before I go, certainly it's very sad. This thing is not unique to Nigeria. This clamor, this elite conspiracy against the people, the elite conspiracy against the people to be saying one thing or another, to be asking for one political mileage or another, which they don't actually mean.
Just relax.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. And exactly as if I knew he would be here, he has just demonstrated what I've just said a few minutes ago. Look at the welcome. Look at the joy. A lady removed her wrapper and laid it on the floor for him to march upon. A lady removed her wrapper and laid it on the floor for him to march. That is the respect. That is the obedience. That is what she thinks should be. So imagine that this huge reception. Sana Baba, that's what I should say. Thank you, sir. With which we received His Excellency PeterObi, and if we could obediently do all of this and replicate it in every single polling unit, and make the alliances that are needed, and get together to ask for Nigeria, that perhaps could have been the solution. So, if a people decide today in the United States of America, in 2022, they are still talking about the first black woman to be in the Supreme Council. This is the misnomer. This is the America we talked about freedom. That the strength of the United States of America, which I believe is in their belief for freedom. But they're still talking about a black woman going to Supreme Court in 2022. How backward. So if people choose to divide, they can divide for nothing. It doesn't have to take to be a Hausa or Yoruba or Igbo, or Muslim or Christian, or North or South. So the minute that our leaders would begin to stop, including us, the elites, begin to stop playing the politics at the expense of our people or our country, that minute that they begin to stop is the beginning of prosperity of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.